Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. I hope you are looking forward to our session this afternoon. Just going to give everyone a few more moments, well, one more minute in order to get here. For those of you that are online right now, I do have a download for you under your handouts. So you are welcome to go to the handouts section and click download. And this is something that you can utilize as part of your resources for today. So you don't have to worry about jotting everything down. You'll get all the highlights to review at another time in this handout. So just go ahead while we're waiting a few more seconds for folks to arrive. So great to see everyone. I hope you had an amazing morning. I was on with you as well. How are we doing, Mark? Are you hearing me okay? Great, amazing. That is so wonderful. So just like this morning, we will be going through a few key elements. I will skip past some of those resources that you've already been made aware of, but just to bring your mind to focus on what we're talking about today, it's our brain. So we're looking at how we can brain train and not drain. So we're going to look at resilience and this mind muscle that we have and how we can strengthen it. Just like we strengthen our physical body, we would like to strengthen our mental body as well. So we will have a variety of ways that we are going to introduce this concept to you. Certainly you can add your questions or comments or thoughts right in the chat. We will also have a poll. And for those of you just arriving, again, we have that handout. So if it's something that you would like to utilize for later, feel free to click it to download that. And then at the very end, you will also get redirected to our website. So just in case you were unable to download that earlier today, then you will get a redirect to that and you can just save it in your favorites. So I see lots of great thumbs up happening here. I also see, hi Sharon, hi Beth. I also see lots of names I know and people that have been joining us in health promotion for years. And I could really see the benefit of those that have taken health promotion in your answers this morning. I was really impressed by everyone's awareness and self-awareness. And I hope this afternoon's session will also bring you much pleasure and joy and awareness. My name is Sharon Ash. I'm a health promotion specialist, and you met my co-facilitators this morning, being Krista Snow, as well as Jackie Lesarge. But we also have Jeremy, Rachel, and Lori, who join us at the base gym. Room 207 is where we can be found once we get back to being full-time in the base gym. We also, as you know, are on social media, so we welcome you to join us on social media. And yeah, Beth, I was just thinking of you when I saw your name. You know, it's been very difficult when we look at how we can improve our mental fitness. And one of those things I bet for you, Beth, is working out, because you have a routine and it's probably social as well as physical. And we need to look at what happens when these routines get shuffled around. And therefore, even though I'm sure most of you have those coping strategies that you utilize, I hope that I can give you a few other strategies today as well. So as we go through, I am going to stay on video for as long as I can, but if someone notices that the sound is cutting out or the video is distracting, please let me know and I will just let you visualize the slides with my voice in behind you. So you saw this morning, 4 pillars, of course, and I'm hoping that people have either decided to take another health promotion program or they are looking forward to taking their first health promotion program. So lots of options for everyone. Of course, they're free for you. And one of the things that we advocate for is to have chain of command support you as an individual taking health promotion programs, because we know the stronger we are as individuals, the stronger we can be in a team setting. Of course, with your schedules, it can be really difficult to find the time. And so that's why we also like to offer things such as this, webinars to meet your needs, things that you can do now from home and have as many different options as possible. So again, we have all 4 pillars that we are currently presenting in a variety of ways in person and online, such as what we're doing today. I know Jackie talked to you about Butt Out already. So again, if you are interested in quitting or supporting someone who is quitting, then please get signed up and have a fresh new start in January. You also are aware, because Jackie sent you this, so I won't spend too much time on it because, hey, who doesn't want to relax after lunch? So I'm sure you're all looking very forward to doing some eye rest today, which I lovingly refer to as adult nap time. So yeah, we're going to be taking a nap. You can find more information not just from health promotion, but from our fitness staff, also from our recreational team, from CISUP and other CFMWS entities as well. So even though we're talking about health promotion, we do look at how all of us as a PSP and the CFMWS team can come together to support you and your family. You also have seen this slide. Jackie showed it to you. It's basically just letting you know that this is intellectual property of D&D, and therefore you are welcome to view it, but we're asking not to have it shared outside of the D&D or CAF community. So certainly invite your friends and family to check in on all the different programs. But if there's something specific that you would like to see, get in touch with us and we'll make it happen for you. This can be a bit of a sensitive nature. Some people love relaxing and some people have monkey mind where they're looking at thinking, oh my gosh, Sharon, my brain is already drained. I don't know what we're going to do to build this brain today. And that's perfectly fine. It can be challenging to acknowledge our thoughts, to slow down long enough to recognize maybe the distress that we are having. And it isn't always easy to ask for help, which is one of the key elements that we're going to talk about today. But I'm so thankful that everyone is here and joining me today. And I do want to let you know that even though it's being recorded, our chat isn't being recorded and the polls are not recorded. So those are confidential. Again, take the message out, but leave any identifying factors here with us today. So let's do one of these polls and figure out who is with us so we can get a clear understanding of how I can tweak this specifically for who's in the audience today. So do we have anyone that would identify as a military member or as a retired, as a veteran? Any family members that are here as well? You may be a combination of things, so just choose the one that's most appropriate for you for the next hour in this setting. D&D staff, or maybe you are staff in another manner, which would be a CFMWS or perhaps a contract staff as well. Great, so we can see that we have about 15% with us today are military members. We have a veteran and a family member, and we have quite a few of our D&D staff. So welcome to everyone. Each and every one of us is an integral and vital part of the CAF community, and no one would be able to do their job without each other. So today I invite you to be selfish and to look at this program for the next hour specifically for you. Yes, you may be a military member, but you are probably also a family member. We wear all different hats. And most of our programs are dedicated to the military member, but also I want to be sure that I meet everyone's needs as veterans and family members and D&D staff as well. So everyone is welcome, and thank you so much for being here and for participating. We're up to 32 attendants, so that is absolutely wonderful. So I saw some really great feedback this morning when we were checking in to see where your happy place is. So maybe you recall from this morning, Jackie asked you to reflect back on where your happy place is. And generally that is our place where we can add some brain training in, and it recharges our batteries. So thinking back to that, and you can just add this information into the chat. What is your favorite way to recharge? What is your happy place? Where do you feel that life is practically perfect? Now, our happy place doesn't always have to be somewhere that we've been. It can be somewhere that we go in our mind. So I see that we like some alone time, going for runs, so staying physically active, staying home. So for those people, that probably feels comfortable in one sense of us having this opportunity to learn from home as well. Being out in the community. So you'll notice some people prefer to be at home and others out in the community. Just as Jackie mentioned this morning, we are all very unique individuals. And so what we're looking at today is trying to find at least one extra tool to stick into that belt that you have, your tool belt of mental fitness exercises and resiliency strategies. In Florida, oh my gosh, we're going to actually go to Florida today a little bit, Sonia, in our relaxation, because we're going to go to the beach. So I hope folks are looking forward to that. I see a few more resting at home, walking my dog, so those fur babies. And again, knowing what it is that brings us charging of the brain is what can help balance that brain drain. So you heard from Krista this morning, we don't always have control over everything, right? So what we do have control over is what our response is, how we act, and limiting our reaction. Taking the time every day to do these things that recharge you. It is not selfish. You cannot be a good parent. You cannot be, well, can't be good. You could be better parent and better spouse and better sibling and better club and community member and better employee when you yourself are recharged. And so we have learned over time that perhaps it's better to put other people first. And we're trying to reframe that brain that you heard from Jackie this morning for you to know that you're vital and you're important, and it has to start with you. So I like to use this little analogy of getting on a plane. So let's go with Sonia to Florida. So we're on a plane and we have the safety instructions coming forward, and we have that concept or idea that even though unlikely, if we do lose cabin pressure, an oxygen mask will fall from the ceiling. And they tell you, put that mask on first before you try and help anyone else. Because if you are not recharged, if you don't have a full battery, you can't help others in the way that you potentially would want to. So we have to retrain and reframe our brains to recognize that we do need to be number one in order to help and service others in the best way possible. So if that's the only thing that you learned today, take self-care, make it yours, then you're a winner. You have learned something that is really valuable in life. So we look at these 4 components of a fit mind, and I want you to think of physical fitness. So I saw lots of people saying that they like to stay physically active, and that's really important. So if you think when you're going down to the base gym and you're doing your workout for the day, I saw that Beth likes to run. Okay, so what is Beth really focusing on when she's running? Well, she is focusing on cardiovascular fitness. If we had Beth do a sprint, she'd be working on a little bit more agility, getting those feet moving faster, and a tiny bit of cardio, but not necessarily endurance. If we had someone that is looking at weight training, so they are doing their weights, their dumbbells in the weight room, then we look at that as strength training. If we do that weight a little bit less heavy and for a little bit longer time, then we're looking at resistance training. So we have components of physical fitness. And that's why it's important that we have fitness instructors to lead us and to balance out our programming so that we hit all of these different elements. Perhaps you're more into yoga. So Julie was saying, Lisa was saying that they like to relax at home. So maybe that's doing some gentle stretching. And that component of fitness would be flexibility. You got it. I knew you were thinking that. So when we look at how do we take that concept and apply it to strength train our brain, then we can see that there's competencies. So they're not components, but they're very similar. And we look at competencies of a fit mind. And there's 4 specifically that we will be looking at increasing our brain gain and not brain drain. So mental agility, specifically under stress. Can you think creatively and rapidly? Can you brainstorm? Can you problem solve? And as information is coming in, we move to the second competency, which is attention. As all this information is coming here, can you say, you go there and you go there, and I'm going to focus on this and filter out all those distractions? I have a little bit of trouble with that. I get get distracted pretty easily. But it's something that I constantly work on, is trying to keep that attention and focus on detail. EI, or emotional intelligence, is key, specifically because we can't control other people, but we can look at how we can control our own reactions. And that starts by awareness of our emotions. Regulating emotions. So this morning you heard from Jackie about anger, and anger is an emotion. It's natural, it's normal, but how we act on that emotion is what's vital, and how we can regulate that emotion and handle the emotion not only of ourselves but of others as well. And these are the things that can help us, as Krista was talking about with our intercommunication this morning, about communicating effectively with others. And the 4th component is situational awareness, which really is mindfulness. It's being mindful in the moment of what information is coming in and how you need to respond to that information. So these are 4 competencies of this fit mind that we're going to look at and delve into just a little bit further. So I've said mental fitness, and we're talking about mental fitness today. But what is mental fitness? Or more importantly, what does mental fitness look like? So what are behaviors either in yourself that you notice when you're feeling really mentally fit, really as though that battery pack is full, that oxygen tank is full? How do you feel? What are behaviors that you notice or see or experience? Or maybe just thinking of others. Yeah, Yvonne, you're absolutely right. So that calmness, for sure, that ability to be in the moment. On the opposite side of that is energetic, and having more energy and being able to choose to have a positive attitude. Yes, confidence, awareness, just an overall feeling of being good, or taking that a step further, as Peter is saying, and being euphoric. Yes, these are all indicators and behaviors specifically that we can look at. And it's important that we understand what mental fitness is in order to recognize what it looks like for us. And so we use our mental fitness continuum model. I'm sure most of you have seen this model before. It is a fantastic tool. It is an individual tool in the sense that it's looking at behavior change. And it's also applicable when you are looking or noticing changes in behavior in others. What it is not is a diagnostic tool. So it's not to say, you know what, I think that you need help. And I think that, this judging piece, you need to go talk to somebody. We heard from Krista this morning around communication, how our tone and inflection can really help others to listen to us or not listen to us. And so this is really looking at what's a snapshot of us and others in healthy, when we're green, when we're good to go, when that battery is full, right? We are looking at how we can train the brain in green. Well, that's maintenance. If you're in green, you're doing awesome. Give yourself that pat on the back, and recognize that most of us do sort of rotate or flip back and forth between the healthy, the green, and the yellow reacting. Even in one day, we can go from healthy green, maybe you woke up this morning, it's 8:35, and you're like, oh my goodness, I was supposed to be on the webinar with Jackie this morning, right? We could immediately go into that reacting. Let's get on. What do we have to do? And yeah, once you got on there and sort of took a few deep breaths and saw, okay, we're fine, you would go back into the green. So when we are in the green, we are looking at maintaining that green, doing the things that are our happy place, going for our run, working out, walking with our dogs, playing with our fur babies, talking to our best friend, doing arts and crafts, working on our car, painting a picture, taking photography, all those different things, working in the garden or with your plants now that it's a little chilly out there, bringing them indoors. All of these things are things that keep us in the green. These are also the things that leave us when we start to head into the yellow. We don't have time, we're panicking, and this is an opportunity for us, to notice when we're in the yellow and what are those coping things? Where's my happy place and why haven't I been spending more time there? We want to allow ourselves every day a little bit of time in that coping place, because this is what allows us to bounce back more quickly when we do have things that go astray. Once we're into the orange, this is seek help. This is where our regular happy place is not going to be enough happiness to pull us out. We need someone to talk to. Maybe it is something clinical like a social worker or perhaps a padre, but looking for someone that can help and support you, that also has the skills in order to do so. And then the red, and going into that deep red, is immediate help. So this could potentially, if you see yourself in the deep red right now, is making that MO appointment, medical doctor appointment, getting in. I know it's difficult right now because you probably feel like there's a lot of things outside of your control, and none of us have been in this time of COVID before, and there's plenty of struggles. But what we want to look at is when we need more help than what we're able to provide ourselves. And the way that we look at this is across in 6 different areas of change. So we look at in the first row, change in mood. So maybe you are calm, as we noticed earlier. And I think it was Yvonne that mentioned about that feeling of calm. Yeah, you're right on, Yvonne, when we look at that mood. But maybe you feel a little overwhelmed when you slip into the reacting. And maybe that goes into pervasive sadness as we go into the orange. And that can even lead into the red as panic attacks. And so this, again, isn't to diagnose yourself or others to say, oh, panic attacks, I'm in the red, there's something wrong with me. This is simply red flags that we can notice so that when we're looking at resources, we can apply appropriate resources and take that next step to get help and support. Maybe you see more change in attitude when you're under a lot of stress or when that brain is getting drained. So you want to think of the red as draining of your brain, and then the healthy green is it's nice and full, that oxygen. So again, going to your happy place daily, finding something that you can do for yourself every single day. And it doesn't need to be a 2-hour movie. It can be something as simple as a 4-minute tactile breathing exercise, which we'll get to. As we go down, we may see changes in sleep patterns. So again, if you're looking at a peer, coworker, subordinate, chain of command, friend, family, you may not know exactly what their sleep pattern is. And so we sort of use this in conjunction with energy levels. So we saw that there was many people that were saying more energy. So Stephanie and Beth, you felt like you were more energetic. And so that is you in the green. So when you feel a little bit more drained, withdrawing a little bit, maybe the phone rings and you're like, oh man, I really just don't want to answer that. These are red flags for you to recognize, okay, I either need to add some more coping strategies or seek out some help. Then we see that we get into changes in activity. So this is where it depends on your personality, because we did see some people are really happy to stay at home. And so we may see their change. They may be homebodies in the green, and then the change for them is all of a sudden they're out and want to be really, really socially active. That's the change you would notice. And that's why it's really important to see what we each individually look like in the green on a regular basis and take note for those changes, because all of us don't look the exact same in green as we noticed. Julie's saying about being confident. Yeah. So when you have that confidence and that's part of you in the green and acting healthy, then how does that feel when you slip into the yellow or slip into the orange? So again, noticing those differences. And finally, the bottom one, we look at change in substance use. And that can be anything from substances that we ingest, or it can be things such as gambling and gaming. And I see here, Nora, that you can't hear. So I'm just going to allow my video to go off here, maybe help you hear a little bit better, Norma. If not, then again, you may just need to pop off and pop back on again. We'll be here waiting for you. This is another visual that may be helpful for you when you're looking at that mental health continuum model, just to notice again, what's your regular mood? Are you irritable when you're moving into that yellow? What does it look like in the orange and the red? So we look at mental fitness, and mental fitness is about psychological and emotional resilience. And we want to think of resilience as our oxygen tank being full, to be able to spring back after struggling through difficult and stressful times. So it's not about ending the stress, but managing that stress. Stress can happen to us. As we noticed earlier in the model that both Jackie and Krista provided for you, the first step around that stressor can be internal or external, but the most important part of that is the middle part of the model. And that is, what is our perception? And perception, whether right or wrong, is. So we look at that being our truth. And so even though we're not trying to completely remove stress from our life, because there is a good part of stress as well, we are using these as life lessons. So stressors that we've had or negative impacts that we've had in our life, we really want to focus on taking that life message or life lesson, moving forward and growing through this experience. Easier said than done, I know. So how do we build that resilience? Well, there are key things that we can take control of and that we will be able to help to brain train, especially when we're feeling drained. So step one, we're going to look at some key things about taking care of yourself around sleep and nutrition and stress management. Step two is really maintaining that strong social network, and I'll explain more about how that looks, as well as asking for appropriate help. And maybe, hopefully, one of your favorite things, practicing those mental fitness exercises. So that's what we're going to practice in a few short minutes here. I'm not sure if you are aware, but we do have a mission ready, and it is looking at strongproudready.ca. And this has some amazing information around it for the Performance Triad, specifically Army-based, but it's certainly something that all of us can utilize in order to take step one of taking care of ourselves. And so we look at sleep hygiene, hopefully being within that 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep each night. And we talk about hi, Norma. And we talk about activity as well. Are you getting 150 minutes of moderate activity per week? And nutrition. So, are you following Candace's food guide? Do you eat enough vegetables and fruit? What is your hydration levels? And health promotion is really here for you in order to meet that performance triad. And we can do specific webinars for sleep strategies if that's something that you're struggling with. We also have injury reduction strategies, so we can look at activity levels and how we can support increasing activity. And we can also see that with nutrition, Top Fuel for Top Performance and Mission Nutrition are both programs that could really help and support you if this is somewhere that you find that you're struggling. Of course, when we look at stress and anger, we have Stress Take Charge and we have anger management as well. And I see that Beth is talking. Are you talking about the Top Fuel for Top Performance, Beth? I think all of them are really great courses. But I also know that you took the IRS injury reduction strategies, and that workshop is brilliant as well. So step 2 is looking at how we can stay connected. So this, so far in the past 8 months, has really been a big change for a lot of us, being online, right? Yes, staying visual with people. So looking at perhaps looking at FaceTiming, right? If you're generally someone that makes a phone call to your friend, it's nice to see their face as well. So maintaining that strong social network. This may be something that you would like to think about as I'm walking through it. And this are our social circles that we talk about. So can you think of a friend, someone who you talk to and trust? What name would you put in that small circle? What about someone to have fun with? People who you share laughter with. Laughter really is amazing medicine. What about resources? Do you have someone that has most of the information? I'm sure you have someone like that. I know who I turn to when I need resources. What about role models? Someone you respect and that you appreciate the way that they act. Do you have someone to turn to when you're feeling overwhelmed? Or someone who appreciates you, who sees the good in you and tells you about it as well. Or maybe you have someone that challenges you, that pushes you further and helps you see that you can do more than you ever thought possible. So when you're thinking of these people, and this is an activity that I have added into your handout, so if it's something that you're interested in, we also do it in Stress Take Charge. So if you haven't taken Stress Take Charge, or if you have, just reflect back on this activity. Do you have a name, at least one name in each of those circles? And if you don't, it's not about judging how many names you have in there, but looking at it from a place of next steps. You know what? I really do need a little bit more of a challenge right now. Who's someone that would be a good challenge person that I could talk to? And fill that circle. In step 3, we're being proactive. We're asking for help. And I know that you also received a link to the key contact card this morning, and this is really fantastic in order to be able to look at what resources we have in the CAF as well as what we have in the community as well. And there's one in particular that I think is very, very helpful, and it's on the inside. It's this number over here, the 1-800-268-7708. And as you can see, it is both a CIF map number, so the CF Member Assistance Program, and it is also the number for the EAP program. So that's why I was asking who we had here in order to be able to connect some of those dots a little bit more. So as you can see, that's the exact same number, which means that this 24-hour free and confidential counseling service is a wonderful resource for all individuals who are on this program with us today. So you can use that as a family member as well, because as a CIF map, as a member, your family member is also included. you can also use it as a retired member. So it's really one, if you're not sure of the resources, this is a great one to have available for yourself and for your subordinates and for your family. And the fourth one we look at is practicing mental fitness exercises. And so this is probably one of my favorite ways of building resilience. And in particular, I look at building resilience by strength training my brain in potentially 5 different ways. So we look at tactical breathing. This is a strategy that you can utilize wherever you are, wherever you go. You don't need to have your eyes closed to practice it. You can be doing it when you're driving your car, standing in line, on the phone with someone else, checking your email. So this tactical breathing, we inhale for a count of 4, we hold for a count of 4, we exhale for a count of 4, and we hold that exhale for a 4. So it would go something like this. Inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. And we repeat that 4 times per minute for 4 minutes. And this is one of the very best things that you can practice to counteract fight, flight, and freeze. So this is what we were talking about this morning with Jackie, is that fight, flight, freeze, and really thinking about our amygdala that lights up under fight, flight, or freeze, which is a stress response. And then we want an equal and opposite response, which is our relaxation response. And all of these different techniques can help us with the fight, flight, and freeze. I can see that we're really helping out on the chat as well. Thank you so much, everyone, for being such wonderful communicators and helping those that can't hear. I really, really appreciate it. The second one we look at is that situational awareness or the mindfulness. And this is something that we want to take all of our senses and to create a positive mental image. So this mindfulness, this positive mental image, is your happy place. If you were to close your eyes and use the back of your eyelids as a screen, a movie screen, or as a canvas to paint, what sort of picture would you see there? So for example, we can go back to, I feel like it was Mark that was talking about plants and thinking of the garden. So when you're out in your garden, what do you smell? So you may smell the flowers, right? What do you feel? You may feel the sun on your face. When you listen, you may hear the birds chirping. So we want to create that mindfulness, a snapshot of this happy place that even when we're not there, we can think about it and be present. I hear my backyard neighbors. Yeah, for sure. Well, sometimes that chatter, for some people, Lisa, it can be very rewarding to feel as though there are others around you and that you're not alone. And for other people that would love some silence, it can be really frustrating. So practicing tactical breathing can be helpful if the mindfulness isn't working. This third technique is a grounding technique. And again, it uses those senses of what we see, hear, smell, feel, and taste. And we do this in sequence from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So even where you're sitting right now, think if you can see and name off 5 things. So for myself, I see my lamp. I see my ferret who's sitting here being silly. I see my guitar. I see my stocking. And I see my meditation pillow. So I don't know about you, but I could not think of one other thing when I was looking at all these things that I was rhyming off. It helps us to focus. So grounding is also something that we utilize for people that have sustained operational stress injury or any form of trauma. For example, maybe there's a smell or a sound that pulls them back to that trauma, and grounding is really to create roots. It's to reset the brain for it to know that it is no longer in that traumatic space and that we are safe here and now. So you can also use this for tiny people when they're having a tantrum. So if you have a 2 or 3-year-old in the store, try using some of these things. Not the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 completely, but maybe, oh, can you see 3 things, or 3 types of chocolate bars, or what are you feeling? Name 2 things that you're feeling right now. So it's not just using this when we're in a meditative state, but it's taking information and utilizing it. So it's not just info, it's integrated. And then positive self-talk. Now, positive self-talk is the thing that most people struggle with, because we do go back to that amygdala and think of our fight, flight, or freeze, which often brings up negative messaging. And the goal is to really replace or reframe that negative with a positive, and we don't even need to believe that positive self-talk. We just need to think it and even say it out loud. So it's your own personal mantra. I am ready. I can do this. I can succeed. I've got this. It's like Nike, right? Just do it. So it's finding your own mantra, something that when you notice a negative self-talk, it's like putting the wet blanket over top of that hot fire and telling yourself something positive. And the last one that we look at is from irest.org, which is Integrative Restoration Institute. And you're going to get a little taste of iRest today, but this is often how it looks when I go into units and provide an iRest Yoga Nidra for PT. We see that everyone lays down, so you will be laying down shortly. If possible, you want to have a nice pillow with you, a blanket. You don't need to lay on your back, even though a lot of people do. You can lay on your side, you can lay on your belly. iRest Yoga Nidra is a guided meditation for relaxation and resilience. It was something that was created by Richard Miller, who's a clinical psychologist, and he brought it into the military setting in order to help soldiers that were returning from Iraq with a possible operational stress injury. He has written numerous books, one specifically for the military, which it looks at PTSD and retraining the brain as well, and also looks at the nerve implexes and recognizing how we can teach our nervous system to be less reactive. However, from this military-specific training, he also recognized that everyone, when they practice iRest, can find a piece of it that is so beneficial to them. So today, we're going to do a little piece of iRest as well through a body scan, a little bit of breathing. I'm going to invite you right now. This is one of my happy places. I know it's not Florida, but actually, this was Dominican, and it was absolutely a beautiful spot and one of the places that I love to go. So Sonia, we're sort of together with that beach. So I invite you right now just to get as comfortable as possible. We're going to do about a 15-minute relaxation exercise. And I just invite you to close your eyes if it feels comfortable for you. And if you're more comfortable sitting up, feel free to do so as well. Just begin by focusing on the breath. Deep inhalations and exhalations. And with each exhalation, allow the body to sink a little bit deeper in to heaviness. Bring your attention to your breath flowing in and out, and allow your body to become 5 or 10% more comfortable. So allow the body to shift into a more comfortable position. There is no right or wrong way to practice iRest. If you continue to hear my voice, that's wonderful. You can stay with me and I will guide you. Or if you tend to go to your own happy place, that is wonderful as well. And I will bring you back at the end of our 15 minutes. In your mind's eye, see yourself descending down a long, narrow wooden stairway towards a beautiful, inviting beach. Your bare feet feel the rough, weathered steps, and with each step, you feel more and more tension gently melting away from your body. As you continue down the stairway, you notice how the bright white sand stretches down the shoreline as far as you can see. The ocean is a deep shade of blue, with the fine white crests of the waves sweeping towards the shore. You reach the end of the stairway and step down, sinking into the warm, soothing sand, feeling more and more relaxed as tension gently melts away from your whole body. The roaring sound of the sea surf, the waves crashing over each other, calms your mind and allows you to feel even more at ease. You begin walking slowly towards the edge of the water and you notice the warm sun on your face and shoulders. The salty smell of the sea air invigorates you and you inhale deeply, breathing slowly out, feeling more and more relaxed. Finally, you reach the water's edge and you gladly invite the waves to flow over your toes and ankles. You watch the waves glide smoothly towards you, gently sweeping around your feet, and the trail of seawater that flows slowly back out. You allow yourself a moment of peace here, gazing out over the far-reaching horizon. Overhead, you notice two seagulls gracefully soaring high above the ocean waters, and you can hear their soft cries becoming faint as they glide away. After a moment, you begin strolling down the beach at the water's edge. You feel a cool, gentle breeze pressing lightly against your back, and with every step, you feel yourself relaxing more and more. As you walk down the beach, you notice the details of sights and sounds and the soothing sensation of the sun, the breeze, and the sands below your feet. As you continue your leisurely walk down the beach, you notice a colorful beach chair resting in a nice, peaceful spot where the powdery soft sand lies undisturbed. You approach this comfortable looking chair, you sit down, you lie back, and you settle in, focusing on normal inhalations and exhalations as your eyes close. You feel the warmth, the sun on your face, and the body sinking deeper and deeper into the chair. You sense the body breathing itself naturally and rhythmically, and you notice a flow of air and sensation entering and leaving the body. You begin to mentally count down now from 7 to 1, while sensing the abdomen rising and releasing as the breath naturally flows in and out like this. 7, inhaling, abdomen rising and expanding. 7, exhaling, abdomen releasing and relaxing. 6, inhaling, abdomen rising and expanding. 6, exhaling, abdomen releasing and relaxing. Continuing counting down to 1, your body's own breathing rhythm. And if you lose count, simply beginning again from 7 down to 1. Now allow the counting to fall away and bring attention to the flows of sensation throughout the whole body. Noticing flow of sensation in the mouth, ears, eyes, forehead and scalp. Noticing flows of sensation throughout the whole body. As you become aware of the flow of sensation, noticing the sensations in your lips, teeth, gums, back of the throat, tongue, jaw. Allow your thinking mind to rest, simply welcoming sensation. Sensations of the left ear, inside the ear, the outer architecture of the left ear. Sensation of the right ear, inside and out. Welcoming both ears simultaneously as radiant sensation. Sensation in the left nostril, right nostril. Noticing the flow of air and sensation inside both nostrils. Sensations of the left eye, eyebrow, temple, cheekbone, the entire left eye. Sensations of the right eye, eyebrow, temple, cheekbone, the whole right eye as sensation. Welcoming sensation into both eyes at the same time. Without analyzing, simply sensing your way down from your forehead, scalp, back of the head, neck. Sensations of the left shoulder, left upper arm, elbow, forearm, wrist, left hand and fingers. The whole left arm as radiant sensation. Sensations in the right shoulder, right upper arm, elbow, forearm, wrist, right hand and fingers. The entire right arm as pure sensation. Allow the thinking mind to rest, drawing your focus and attention to sensation. Sensation of the upper chest, middle chest, abdomen and belly, upper back, middle back, lower back, the entire back of the torso, front of the torso, letting go of thinking the entire torso inside and outside as pure, radiant sensation. Sensations rolling down through the pelvis and sacrum, left buttock, left hip, left thigh and knee, lower leg, ankle, left foot and toes, the entire left leg. Sensing the right buttock, right hip, right thigh and knee, lower leg, ankle, right foot and toes, the entire right leg. Sensing both legs simultaneously. Sensing the front of the body, back of the body, left side, right side, inside the body. Sensing your whole body. Allow a thinking mind to rest, welcoming sensations throughout the whole body as you begin to be aware of the sun on your face, as you listen to the ebb and flow of the ocean waters as the waves roll in and out, as you listen to the cry of the seagulls overhead, knowing at any time you can return to your own private beach chair whenever you need a moment of peace and calm. Visualize yourself arising, walking back to the edge of the water. And as we begin to walk back towards the room that your body's resting in, bring your awareness back to the breath as I guide you through 1 minute of tactical breathing. For your next inhalation, inhaling 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. More round. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. And allow the breathing to go back to your normal inhalations and exhalations and become aware of where your body is resting, on the floor, on the chair, on your couch, wherever you happen to be. Take notice of any sensations left over in the body. Notice any monkey chatter in the brain, noticing if that is positive or negative self-talk. Just being aware as the witness without judgment, just noticing. And as we begin to slowly open and close our eyes, coming back into the webinar as we wrap up for the day. So thank you everyone for joining me. We did a little bit of a guided visualization there going to the beach. We had a little bit of eye rest there, going through the body scan, also utilizing counting backwards from 7 to 1. Love that it's adult nap time, right? It's one of the best things that we can do for ourselves is to fill that brain. And I just really appreciate everyone at least attempting one of the things that you learned today. I hope that you will be able to take something that will be able to help you and recognize the things that you're willing to integrate back into your life. So I'm wondering if you can just put in the chat if there's things that you will try. So if you strongly agree, you can put an A in the chat. If you agree to a certain extent that there's something here today that you would try, maybe it is the tactical breathing. Maybe it's going to be a little bit of iRest at irest.org. Maybe it's going to be signing up for a health promotion program. Maybe it's going to be coming over and visiting us in room 207. Maybe it's something that you're willing to put into action over the next couple of weeks specifically. Wonderful. And I'm just wondering if that was a question that we have from Yvonne. Is that a hand up there? And if so, you're more than welcome, Yvonne, to either open up your audio if you would love to do that, or you can put the question in the chat. So completely up to you. I'm going to come back online here. So I get to see everybody. Oh, it was a wave. Oh, I love that. Awesome. Thanks for waving, Yvonne. That's so nice. It's so nice to get feedback like this. Norma, I'm sorry about your sound. Sorry, Norma. Hopefully you can join us. If you do, Norma, find that your sound gets better throughout the week, then you can join us next week as well. But I'm also going to hand out to everyone here, for those of you that enjoyed the iRest, a little iRest script. So this is a 10-minute. You can download iRest script if you enjoyed our practice today. Are there any questions that I can answer? If not, I have put my name and my email address on the bottom there. It's also included in your handout that I gave you earlier. So if you have any questions about the handout, or if there's anything that I can do to help and support you, then I am here for you, as is all of Health Promotion. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining me today. Remember, the most important mental fitness exercise is the one that you'll actually do. So look after yourselves and really practice that self-care so that you can refill that brain if you're feeling a little bit drained. Thanks, everyone, and take good care. Bye now.